Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Z. It is so nice to have you here. So, it's been a while. This seems to be a theme with me right now. I have definitely been working through the inspiration rut that I have been in, but I guess this is just going to be a life update of all the things that are going on. So, for the people that only follow me on YouTube and don't have my TikTok or anything, I quit my job in June so that I could go to cosmetology school full time. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm currently attending the Paul Mitchell School of Dallas because I do live in the DFW Metroplex. And so I'm going there for cosmetology. And last Friday was the end of our core classroom time. We're now moving into protege, which is the first 2 weeks of us being on the floor, and then we will be in phase one and taking clients, which is crazy. I tried to do a little bit of research about cosmetology school before I started, kind of to see what to expect, what advice other people have had, and I really couldn't find a whole lot. So I'm gonna give a little bit of my advice thus far in this journey. Obviously, we'll probably do like an updated one when I get closer to graduation and all that kind of stuff. My current projected graduation date is middle of February, so super excited about that. But the biggest piece of advice that I have is you get out of it what you put into it. So if you want to be really good at cosmetology and you want to be good at doing hair and cutting hair and coloring and doing all of those things, you have to put in the effort and the work to get there. That means practicing, taking risks, doing things that are going to be outside of your comfort zone, but it also means showing up every day and giving it 100% and trying to do the processes as they're being taught to the very best of your ability. My other piece of advice is ask questions. Your teachers can't read your mind, and so if you don't understand something or you don't know something, ask about it. If you're unsure about something that you did or a process that you did, ask about it. If you're unsure if your haircut is straight, ask. Let the professionals help you figure out what you need to change and adjust so that you can be the best version of yourself in this career as humanly possible. The next thing that I would say is make sure that when you go into this, you're going into it with an open mind, and you know that you're going to be more social. If you're in my situation where I worked from home for 5 years and I really wasn't around people, it is a really big adjustment, and give yourself the time to make that adjustment. The problem is I didn't. And so when I started school in June, the first week of school, I ended up getting a cold. And so I was sick the entire first week of school. And if you know anything about Paul Mitchell, or at least I believe it's cosmetology schools in Texas, during the first 4 to 6 weeks, you cannot miss more than 3 days, which is 21 credit or 21 hours out of your time. And so I could not stay home and rest. I had Dayquil, cough drops, tissues, water, electrolytes. I was doing everything I could to support my body, but also I was at school every single day. And then that next week, uh, I was really, really busy. I believe that I've talked about it on here before, but I am in therapy, and I'm not going to go into that because that's for me to know and y'all not to worry about. But I have therapy every week. I'm also seeing a dietitian because I'm trying to work on building my body up better and working on some food issues that I have. So I have a dietitian. I also have a social life, and I have these friends that I spend a lot of time with. And because of that, um, the second week of school was just non-stop. It was super social. Of course, I had therapy and I had my dietitian appointment, as well as I had a girls' night with some friends. And then I also had book club because we have started a little book club. And we're currently reading Fourth Wing, and we are projected to finish the book by our next meeting, which is next week. So, a lot going on the second week of school. The third week of school, I made it a priority to basically just go to school and come home and rest. Obviously, I still did my therapy and everything, but to just not busy myself up as much. And if I was doing something, I was doing something at home, or something that was restful, trying to. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit of a busybody, so it is a little difficult for me to rest, because there's always something to do. And if my to-do list is not done, I really struggle to take the time and rest, even when my body needs it. And unfortunately, during the third week of school, we did have a really close family friend pass away. And so I left early on Friday and tried to get as much rest as possible. And then, so last week was week 4. Another thing about my school that I do not know if all Palmetto schools do this, but I believe that they do. We have an in-service day every second Monday of the month. The students do not come to the school, but the teachers do, and they learn new techniques, they learn about new products, they review feedback, just things like that. And I think it's really good, and it's really nice to know that even when school gets to be a little overwhelming, because we are in a customer service role, it can be a little overwhelming sometimes, that we will get that 3-day weekend every month. And it is something that personally I kind of look forward to, because it is a nice little break. This next in service that we have coming up in August is actually a day that I'm going to be spending some time serving at my church, which I'm super excited about. But it gives me a little something to look forward to, just an extra break, an extra day to sleep in, or whatever. But another piece of advice that I would give as far as cosmetology school is, don't rush yourself in the beginning. So the way that my school does it is they have a classroom portion for the first 4 weeks. Then we have core clinic, which is 2 weeks where we're on the phase 1 floor, but we're doing stuff with mannequins the first week. And then the second week is friends and family week. And then we go towards taking tickets and having walk-ins and stuff like that. I am about to start the first week of core clinic. And so I have really learned, for me personally, I would rather do it slower and right than do it faster and do it messy or wrong. So that would be my advice to anybody who is going in. Just give yourself the time that you need to learn. You will get faster with practice. For example, blow dries. There's several different ways to pre-dry and finish a blow dry on somebody, and giving yourself the time to get used to that, you do get faster. You get faster with the round brush. You get faster with the process of adding those, those curls and those swoops and things like that. So give yourself grace, and again, ask questions. If you are unsure about something or something doesn't feel right, what your teacher is doing or how somebody else is holding something, holding a tool, or your shears, for example, may not be the best way for you to do it. You are your own person, and you know your body best, and you know what you need best. And I think that's all the advice I have on that right now. But I have been doing a 75-day challenge over on TikTok. If you guys want to go check that out, it's kind of been like a document from the beginning of June to now. And I really do plan to actually post on YouTube and care about it and have, this time and putting in this effort. I'm actually working on a class to learn how to edit better, because editing is really hard, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, I do not do well with not being good at things. And it has been a huge test for me in cosmetology school, because a lot of the stuff I'm learning for the first time. Cutting, how the proper technique to do blow dries, the Marcel curling iron, all of these different things that are all brand new to me. And it's really, really hard to not be good right out the gate. But the same advice I gave you guys, I'm giving myself to give myself grace, and I'm going to get better. And I know that I'm going to put in the work to get better and to get good at this. And if that's a journey that you guys would like to be a part of, I would love to have you along. And so make sure to like and subscribe and let me know what you guys want to see. I have not really been reading, honestly. I've been in a reading slump pretty bad. But with having book club and stuff, it is kind of like scratching that itch of like me wanting to read. I'm in the middle of 3 books right now. So I'm rereading Fourth Wing. I'm reading The Dark Lord's Guide to Dating and Other War Crimes with one of my friends. And then I got Fragile Hope in my probably smut box. And it seems really like cute and fun and easy. So I'm probably going to be reading that. And I am also going to start taking my books with me to school to read during breaks and things like that. Because I just think it would be better than scrolling on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. So I'm in school. I don't have a job. Things are going really well, and I can honestly say that I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. I was so scared when I quit my job that I was going to regret it and that I made the wrong decision, but I can confidently say after 4 weeks in the classroom that I made the right decision, that this was the correct step for me in my journey and in my life. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do that. I'm very grateful for the support system, the friends, the family, my husband, everybody that has supported me through this journey, because it really has been difficult in some moments, but it's also been excruciatingly rewarding in the sense that I do see myself getting better. And I do see, you know, a future in this career that is beneficial, and it makes me excited to get up every day. One of the ways I know that I'm on the right path is I don't struggle to get up in the morning. Obviously, when my alarm goes off, like everyone else, I'm like, oh, this is awful. But it is a lot easier for me to actually physically get up now that I'm doing this than it was before. And I am really grateful that I get to do this, that I get to see all of the people around me, and I get to learn, and I get to, grow this craft and change this career. But if there's anybody who's watching this that isn't sure if they should start over, or, you're thinking about a career change, or you're just not sure where you're being led, my advice at the moment is take the leap of faith, because it truly was such a big deal. I racked my brain over this for months on whether or not it was the right decision, and I kind of made it not impulsively, but it felt a little impulsive toward the end, and I genuinely am so grateful for this change. I'm grateful for my previous company and the experience that I had with them. I learned so much about serving customers and caring for the people that come to me and that I'm taking care of. And I plan to continue that forward into this career. But I genuinely can say that I made the right decision by leaving that company. And now I have really big dreams that I hope to accomplish one day, and it's given me a new goal and something to work towards, and I'm really grateful for that. So if you're thinking about a career change, taking a leap of faith, I say do it. That's my suggestion, is do it, because you never know what you're capable of if you don't do it. I know it's super cliche to say, but you miss 100% of the chances you don't take, and I'm so glad that I took this chance, and I'm just really, really enjoying my life and all of the things that are going on with this journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, the scary. Let me tell you, it's been really scary. but it's where I'm supposed to be, and I'm very happy about that. So, with all that being said, because I have now just rambled for 15 minutes, and I'm not going to edit this video because honestly, that was kind of the point, was for me to sit down, give you guys a life update, share my thoughts, give any advice that I had about switching careers, going to school, all that kind of stuff. And I've done that. And I've stumbled along the way, but the 75-day challenge that I've been doing on TikTok has really taught me people want the real version of you. They don't want the perfect version of you. And so that's what you guys are going to get. You're going to get the real version of me. And so it's not always pretty. It's not always fun. It's not always graceful. But this is me, and I would love to be friends. And if you would like to join me on this crazy ride that is my life, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye.